Om Shanti. Welcome. So, how's everyone doing? Good, very good. You're all smiling. And so, do we know the topic today? Yes, staying motivated. Yes, very good. So, that is the topic. And so, in life, we always want to achieve something or reach towards a goal, right? And what is success? How is success defined? What is success? Right, that what we think or whatever we want, it happens or even better, right? Either the desired outcome happens or something better. And what happens when we expect something and something opposite happens? Yes. Sometimes you get mad. Yes, you are very intelligent. So you get upset. So when something opposite happens, we reach a failure in life, right? And when that failure can be in different fields of life, right? And it can be in my personal goal. If I'm trying to achieve something at school or in profession, anywhere, and I keep a goal and I'm not able to reach that. So that is for my personal life. And then it could be in my relationship, right? I'm trying and working hard for a relationship and it's not working out, right? And so I feel that at some point this is not working for me, or this is not what I expected because I gave a lot into it. So it's a failed a relationship at that point. And then it could be failure in health, right? We feel we do so much, we did everything right, and why this situation came, right? And that can happen too. And where else can it be? Where else can it feel like that? Any other personal goal that I have kept, that I'm working on myself, maybe I'm trying to quit a habit, maybe I'm trying to change something about myself, and I'm not able to do that. And that also can lead to a feeling of failure, right? And whenever that happens, a feeling of failure comes, what is the first emotion that comes? Yes, we get upset. Yes. What else? Anger. Yes, very good. Disappointment comes, right? That why this thing happened. Yes. Depression, yes, that's little later, but yes, the first emotion will come like a disappointment, right? And when disappointment comes, it comes in the way of that I do not accept that whatever is the scene or whatever is the outcome, I'm not okay with it. So if I'm not okay with it, it will project, my desire is not fulfilled. So it will project as anger. And now anger in terms, if it is projected outside, what would happen? I would blame, right? Anger projected outside is blame. So I would either blame a person because of you, because of this, or I could blame a situation. Because of this situation it happened, because of this it happened. And if the anger is projected towards self, then what is it? Anger projected towards self might be guilt, right? I'm guilty. Why I did this, why I could not do this. And we become very self-critical, and then we can go into a poor self-esteem that I am not able to do this. I tried each time, this is not my cup of tea, this is not what I am made for, and then I do not believe in myself, and maybe I change things, right? And where I want to go. So this happens. Now I could also try again, right? If I reach a failure, I will I would be like, let me go and try again. And then if again there is a failure, then what happens? There's again disappointment, yes. And it's a bigger one than the previous one. Because now I feel like I tried again, I gave so much more effort, and still I am receiving another outcome. Something did not work, right? So we have to find out what we can do, and so we keep trying. People say, go, keep trying again, keep trying again. Someone would give me hope. Maybe I'll read something, get a little hope from somewhere, and then I try again, and again maybe I reach a failure. So I go through these mountains where I get little hope, I try, I go up, and then the outcome comes, and then I dip down. So there's like a setback. Then I try again, and then again I dip down. So in that case, the phase that is there between the two mountains, right? Or when I go up, this phase when I go down, this is really crucial to know how or where my success would be for the second trial, right? And studies have shown when people take less time in between the two trials, there are more chances of success, right? So why we take more time? Because we take time to recuperate, there is time to be resilient, whatever time it takes to between the two trials, and then we go ahead. Sometimes we might not even try again. We might say, and this is it, I'm not trying again. And from there on, for lifelong, I might have that perspective about myself that this is where I'm going to be. I just changed something about myself, and I feel in a very self-critical way, right? So that can happen. So what can I do to keep myself motivated so that I am able to get success in life? What are some ways that I can, bring in my life that can give me or that can take me towards success or closer to success? Yes? Talk to someone, very good, who has the same experience, yes. And then what? Right, and redo it, get some knowledge, yes. Get advice from them, yes. What else?
Accept your failure and then start again.
Right. So yes, accepting failure and starting again is very good answers. So when I do that and accept my failure, sometimes I might accept the failure in a way that I feel that, this is how it is. I'm going to be this. So I might feel very down based on that. So accepting failure would be that accepting meaning I am okay with whatever happened. Accepting meaning there is something really good. I'm happy with whatever happened, right? So a failure should look like I'm really happy with it. Right? So first is the very first thing to be successful or to be there is have the power of determination, right? It is the key. We have heard it. It is the key to success. But determination, then one study showed that people tried, and they still failed, right? And they were a group of people that tried and failed, and they became successful. So two groups of people, they tried the same number of times, and they took the same amount of time. Yet one group became successful and one did not. So they both used power of determination, but how come one group became successful and one did not? Yes, the other group learned from each trial. They learned. Very good. Yes, so in the same way, when the power of determination that we are trying, in that also, first we have to see that with the power of determination, why I want to do something, right? The desire has to be really clear. So am I doing it because it's a trend? Am I doing it because everybody else is doing it? Is there a peer pressure or someone asked me to do it? So I have to really see, do I really want to do something? My want has to be very clear. Why I want to do something. If I really know why I want to do something, the how will come with it. Because I will find a way to it, because if the want is clear, right? And when the want is clear, what will the next step that will happen? How will come, but how before that? Yes. So when the want is clear, after that, a step of sacrifice comes. Meaning, I am willing to change something in me or in my behavior that will lead to that how. Right? And then that sacrifice will not feel like a sacrifice. It will seem outside, okay, that person is waking up, that person is going to the gym an hour, oh, you are doing a lot. It will seem from outside that the person is really sacrificing a lot. But to that person, it will not seem like that because the gain is way more, because that person has finally figured out how to do it. All right? So the power of determination would be there. Then the other thing is the second way that he said, right, that we learn from each peak and trough. Between the peak and trough is peak when I'm really excited and expecting, and the trough is like when I dip down, right, when there's a setback. Between these two, right, if I see the previous failure as what is there in me, what is in the situation that is benefiting me, how can I benefit? As long as I can see the benefit, only then the second peak would be different. right? How can I learn from a situation? If something happened, how can I learn from a situation? Mm-hmm.
Just think about what you did and maybe what you can do to be successful next time.
Yes, think about what I did. But also if I did my best, then in that case what would I do? Mm-hmm. Spend more time doing what?
The same thing, but maybe you'll come up with a different thing. You'll try that.
Yes, try a different plan. Very good, very smart. Try a different plan. So the method that I am trying is very important because the method will decide how the success would be. And if I am, so most of the times we do look for no, try and try again, keep working hard. But it seems after a failure, it takes a lot of courage and it seems very hard that I'm trying too much and I'm still not able to get success. So it is a very low feeling. So I'm starting with a very low feeling that, oh, I have to try so hard, I am doing this much, and then I have to go somewhere I haven't reached. So already I'm starting with a platform that is with a very lower base, right? So what I do is if I see what is there, that I learn from it, right? Thomas Edison, what did he say? That I learned how not to do it. I learned 10,000 ways how not to do a thing, right? So in the same way, if he learned 10,000 ways, each time we come across a failure, it would need a lot of courage to see that failure as to what it is teaching me. And again, if I again fail, then I reanalyze it that I did not learn fully. Maybe I learned a little bit better, but again, I could learn something different from the second failure also. And that's how the keep trying should be. If I just keep trying over and over again the same thing, the outcome would be the similar. Outcome would be same. And so there would not be any change. Then what other strategies I could use? So I'm being self-critical, right? I am seeing myself with a very negative background or with a very negative emotion. So I need to see myself with a broader vision. And what a broader vision is? What is a broader vision? Different perspective and broader. So broader vision is, like some say, that seeing yourself from a top of a mountain, right? So you see everything. But that is still not that much of a broader vision because you're seeing everything, but you're not seeing the past and the future. You're seeing that moment, but you're seeing everything. So a broader vision would be where I see everyone, everything, as well as the past and the future, right? Because we tend to think like, oh, that person was able to reach that goal. We both started together. That person reached, but I did not reach, right? So the comparison comes. I start thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not reaching there? Then when I see with a broader perspective, we are all walking in our lanes. We have nothing to do with other person's lane. They have their own past, they have their own experiences, but yet we tend to think we are the same and we tried the same, but the result is not the same. So it's not, we're comparing apples to oranges. So it's not a true comparison. And if I compare like that, every time I would feel low because I feel that I would feel that I'm less fortunate. Whereas I need to feel that I am more fortunate. So how would I do that? I have a tunneled vision. For that I have a tunnel vision, meaning tunnel vision towards the goal. What is a tunnel vision? A vision that is, yes, tunnel vision, like a tunnel. You see a tunnel, you cannot see right, you cannot see left. You go ahead and you only see the end point, right? So that is a tunnel vision. And that's how our tunnel vision should be for my goal. So I only see myself and my progress, and I see how I did yesterday and how I am doing today. And in the tunnel, we don't want any holes, because if there are holes and we start peeking at what other people are doing, then the comparison sets in, okay? And this tunnel vision that we have will lead us towards our goal, right? And there's also, so having a tunnel vision and a broader perspective. So when having a broader perspective, the moment I say I did right. That's end of learning, right? Because I am right, so I don't need to change. So what is this? What is the thinking? If I have to learn, what is the thing? What should be the thinking? I did something wrong. Yes. Get a new plan to think that maybe something I did not do right. Always taking a responsibility that I am willing to change. I am willing to change. If I am not willing to change and I have my firm belief that I am right, it is that person's problem, it is the situation, but I am not willing to change, my learning stops right there. My growth will stop. My going towards that goal will stop right there. So I am willing to change. The willingness, whether it is a relationship I am blaming, right? So if I am willing to change myself, the relationship will get better. If it's a situation where a personal goal is not met, but I am willing to change myself, I will work towards that goal. So each time I get closer, one step closer towards my goal. What other things I can do? What else I can do? So we learned that we can have power of determination, right? The stronger the desire, the clarity that I have, that I really want to do this, my steps will automatically reach there. The second is the correct method, having the right method, right? We compared both the participants in a study. So the method was very important, right? Learning from each step. Then the third is having a broader perspective. And like we see, say suppose we fail in on some test, right? For example, now if I fail and I remember that really touched my heart, then for the next 10 years, 15 years, I would remember that I did not do well on that test. Even though in a bigger picture of life, in my past and future, it is not a big deal. But because it had an impact on me so deep that I always remember it. And I see myself through that window of that perspective, that I am that person who failed on that test. Maybe I'm that person who don't do well in competitions, maybe, or whatever perception I form about myself, that is not true. That is a perception only based on one event, right? So this way, and that is why I would have to change my perspective and relook at myself in a positive light. Then the other thing is that, say suppose a similar problem is coming each time I go and I am not able to overcome it. What would I do? Similar type of problem is coming. Right? So, yes. Make sure you review. I reviewed 10 times. Similar problem coming. Yes, that's good. So one is that you can have more knowledge about what you're doing, more knowledge. And the second, which is really very important, is through meditation, have visualization, right? So if there is a problem that is coming, so have the opposite visualization through meditation. That helps me, right? What did Michael Phelps do? You all know Michael Phelps, right? The Olympic champion for swimming. Right? So when he was in the final swimming competition, what happened? There was water in front of his glasses, right? But he couldn't see, but he kept swimming, and after he reached the goal, he looked, where am I? And he saw he was first. And why? What happened that time? Because he had used the visualization technique before the competition many times. He explained that when I was there before that, I saw using that, I had used that technique, that if this happens, what I have to do. So when that thing happened in reality, he had already rehearsed it so many times. So with the power of visualization, we can already see, visualize, and then see ourselves winning or see ourselves having success in that. So that helps through meditation. And what else? So what all did we learn? Determination, Broader vision. And another word, another with vision? Tunneled vision? Yes. Correct method. It is equally important as determination. Yes. What else? Meditation, visualization technique. Visualization is very important because over there we feel. Because if we fear something, if there is something that I am not, it's a feeling factor, then feeling factor can be changed when I do visualization. Okay. And now, so we will have Brother Hemang. He will lead us through meditation, and we can go from there. Okay. Any questions?
So if we are telling someone like they are doing something and we are just letting them know that your method is not correct, so are we demotivating them or? I'm like,
Yeah, good question.
yeah, it's like happens with kids, like if we are telling them the technique or
Right,
so sometimes they get it wrong.
right. The way we say it or how we say it and
So
how.
yeah.
Right. So if it is, it depends. There are two kinds of people in that also. One is when they are criticized, they move ahead. There are one type of people, right? And there are other types that when they're criticized, when they're encouraged, they move ahead, right? There are certain people that they will do well on exams if they have a fear, I don't want to fail. They will do well, they'll come first just by the thought that I don't want to fail. And there are others that if they're encouraged that, you're doing good, and then if you encourage them, they move ahead. So you have to see what the person is like, how they are perceiving, and with after maybe encouraging them, if they don't like self-criticism, then you can encourage them, and then when they're in their, you would have to check if they're in the receptive mode. At that time you want to give.
Nothing related with like study, like normal.
Yeah, for anything, it has to be in a mode when they are receptive. And when is someone receptive? When they're calm and they're in a very good mode. If they are not, if they are upset and I'm upset and then I try to tell something, will not work. Thank you. Any other questions on how to handle the mind when failures from past keep running in the mind? Yes. So that is what it is, right? So the failure, until and unless I really see where exactly what is the method I used and what exactly I can do. Certain times it might be that I cannot do anything about it. Something really, maybe I fell sick on the day of my exam, and now I cannot do anything about it. It just so happened. So even in that situation, if it keeps coming to the mind again and again, if something comes to my mind again and again, it will become my biggest motivation to change me, because it is affecting me so much. So I have to find out a way. I have to have knowledge or have the understanding how I can use that and how I can put it into my life in a way that I change myself, that I'm able to do something really opposite of that. So if it's coming to my mind, I have to change something. I have to know something, and I have to change something drastically in my life if I really want to, right? Like in your case, if it's coming to the mind, I really want to change the outcome. When that desire comes, and it's a very pure desire, right? That I really want to change that. And when that comes, and I know why I want to change that, then I will find a way. And then, there is spiritual knowledge that helps, that the teachings that helps us in a way that is ethically and filled with values. So when I move with that, then it really helps me to go towards it. Any other, I don't know if I answered that question. Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
So sometimes when you feel your determination is low,
Hmm.
this is the situation bigger than this is all. So what should be your thought process in that way
To increase the
and your confidence?
right. So then to Oh, repeat the question. Okay. So the question is that if it's a situation where the determination is low and that is affecting the confidence, right? So what we had discussed it a past few times also, that one is that we have a positive affirmation and we go with that. So that to improve the self-confidence, I pick a positive affirmation. Then for the determination, I have to reanalyze and recheck why I want to do something, whatever it is, how much I want it, and if I have more education about if I do not do this, what is the loss? What is my loss in it? If I don't do this, what is my loss? And if I do this, what is the benefit? And when I do something, if my desire increases that, oh, this is the benefit I am going to get if I do this, I have the right method, I have the right tools to do it. And then, because the determination will lack when I'm not having success. If I'm not seeing success, the determination will go down. So if I see something that it is working, it is how motivation increases, right? Dopamine excretes and the motivation increases when my mood is good. But I'm seeing this is a failure. I'm perceiving that situation to be my failure, and the mood goes down, and then there is no motivation to do the next step or do the same thing again. So in that case, I would really have to check what the method is, what my knowledge is about what I'm doing. Is it the right? Because method is really important. If I'm not using the correct method, I'm using the determination. I'm doing everything, but I'm still failing because the method is not correct. So I'm not able to figure it out. That's the whole thing. We don't see that we are using the wrong method, and we try to blame other things, or we try to think that this is not right, but it's actually just a method, right? If it's a medication bottle, right? Different pharmacies give different medication bottle. If someone who doesn't know how to open the bottle, they'll keep fighting with it. I'm not able to open, not able to. It's simple as hold it by 2 points, right? And then you press and you open it. So simple. But because of not knowing the method, I am working so hard and I feel like I don't want to do it. So knowing the method is really important. Maybe know more about the method. Education will change things. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll go towards meditation. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Sit comfortably. Make sure your back is straight. You can fold your legs, or you can have it completely grounded. Keep your arms also in a very relaxed position. And look at your life with positivity. Scan through the moments of my life with optimism. And find the instances where you hold that positivity, that hope, that zeal and enthusiasm in life. When I see myself, the way I want to see myself brings respect. I see my worthiness in it. The purpose of the life is to always stay hopeful, be enthusiastic, be motivated.
Just talk a little loud, please.
I know life is full of ups and downs, but I know I have that willpower, that strength to rise above everything. No matter what happens around me, whatever situations may come, but my inner power, wisdom, helps me to overcome anything. Ask yourself, do I believe in myself? Do I know myself? The experiences which I had in life, where I was successful, not in the terms of outside success, but in the terms of where I succeed spiritually, internally. This gives me inner strength. And I know that whatever I think, I can bring that into reality. Where there is will, there is a way. And so I will always stay positive. And when my intentions are positive, the result is always positive. And so, with this understanding, I have faith in myself. And this faith brings confidence. And I am not also afraid or have fear of failure, because I know each and every moment in my life allows me to move forward. Even failures become the stepping stone to reach to success. I just don't have to see that as a failure. Do I have an eye to see positivity in it? And if not, let me create that vision now onwards. How I can see there is benefit in everything. I promise myself that I will always stay positive. I will keep my intentions always positive. And this changes the outlook, how I perceive things, how I think, how I relate life, and how I relate with others. It changes my perspective totally. So let me hold this positive attitude at each and every moment in my life. And let me start with this for a week. And analyze how it is benefiting me, how it helps me to stay motivated. Because I know deep within, I have to find a way to stay motivated. I cannot rely on others. I am a powerful being. And positivity gives me power. Let me stabilize myself in a positive mind frame. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining. And we have a session coming up on June 2nd. We have Brother Ken coming from South America, and he's doing a special public program on June 2nd, that is 11 to 12:30, and it is on why bad things happen to good people. So that's the topic, and you're all welcome to join us and in person, and it's on June 2nd, 11 to 12:30. Thank you. Thank you. And next Tuesday also, we have another experiential meditation session that would start at 7:30, and the topic is All is Well. Okay, thank you, and have a good night and a great week ahead. Shanti.